Hello and welcome to the 2014 World Rally Championship, Day 2 of Rallye Monte Carlo, the opening round of the season, which features 13 events, including a welcome return for Rally Poland, Wales Rally GB wrapping things up once again. The two opening days of Rallye Monte Carlo have been based around Gap in the Haute Alpes. Day 3 and the rally will head south, taking in 2 passes over the infamous Col du Turini and a service in Monte Carlo itself. Well, the action got underway yesterday in typical Monte conditions, a challenging mix of dry tarmac, ice and snow in the early morning darkness. Mads Osberg showing just how difficult the conditions were, a lucky escape for the Norwegian. Mixed conditions, mixed fortunes for young Welshman Elfyn Evans, struggling early on in the dark and those slippery conditions.
Left on 40.
On a brighter note, he did at least have 2 winter tyres in the boot, and he put them to good effect in stage 3 with a second fastest stage time, putting the Welshman up in 5th. One driver who wouldn't make it through the opening stage though, Belgian Thierry Neuville. Runner-up in last season's championship, he was off the road and out of the running on his first competitive stage in the new Hyundai i20.
Yeah, we have to retire there, so it's obviously not what we wanted, not what the job we had to do.
And there was more bad news for the new Hyundai team after stage 4. Just after moving into an impressive 3rd place, Spaniard Dani Sordo ground to a halt on the road section. He too was out, and with no Super Rally here in Monte, Hyundai's rally was already over. All eyes were on world champion Sébastien Ogier, born locally in Gap, but a wrong tyre choice by the VW man caught out on the unexpectedly snowy roads, and he was well off the pace in the opening loop. The surprise of the first morning, Robert Kubica, the former Formula 1 star, stunning the rally elite to win the opening 2 stages. But he too would be caught out by the surprise snowfall in stage 3, losing a minute and a half. The combination of slick tyres and fresh snow simply do not mix. Chris Meek, like Elfyn Evans, carried a pair of winter tyres in the boot, which he duly bolted on to help him blast into 2nd place, a position he held overnight. But the surprise packet on day 1, local privateer Brian Bouffier. The Frenchman has pedigree on these treacherous roads, winning at Monte in a non-WRC round 3 years ago. Another to opt for a pair of winter tyres and producing a stunning drive. So, Bouffier, the surprise leader after the opening day, followed by Meek and Kubica. World champion Ogier, 4th, 47 seconds behind, but don't write him off. Evans going well in 6th, Hervenen less happy in 8th. Well, before the crews go anywhere, they first need to make that critical choice of selecting which tyres to use. Today looking to be slightly simpler than yesterday, with the rain being the biggest concern, but this being Monte Carlo, the conditions here notoriously unpredictable. For the rally leader, Bouffier, secrecy is the word.
Brian Bouffier, that was a long conversation with Malcolm Wilson. What have you decided for day 2 of the famous Monte Carlo rally?
Oh, we were not talking about the car. We were just joking. So no, we are talking about the day, you know, to trying to keep going, and also with the tire choice, because it's not so easy. Because, you know, most of the drivers now are choosing slick tires, but it can quickly change with the weather conditions. So that's why it's a bit difficult.
Choice made. Here's what faces the crews today. 5 stages approaching almost 180 competitive kilometres. The first 4 run in daylight, the last in the dark. This rally doesn't get any easier. Time now to join our commentator. It's hello to John Desborough.
Hello again, everybody. Stage 7. And depending on how your Monte Carlo is going, this one is either very good or very bad news. Lovely to see you. Let me explain. If your car's bang on the money and your confidence is high, then this monster is where you can go for it. But if the opposite's true, it can't finish quickly enough. The former is the case for world champion Sébastien Ogier, on his way to winning this opening stage by a massive 35.6 seconds.
Into flat left.
Welshman Elfyn Evans has been very sensible on this Monte Carlo. That's what his team boss, Malcolm Wilson, told us last night. His reward is 6th place, but if ever there was a place to be really, really sensible, then this was it. On these icy patches, we can hardly see them. Elfyn can't see too much more, and he needs to be sensible and much more. Fearless Robert Kubica is having no trouble building up speed on this, the longest stage on the event this year, but that speed stuff can be lethal when his car hits ice. And all that built-up speed can be difficult to get rid of if he brakes late on the ice. In 3rd place overnight, this is now turning into a real challenge. But just for a second, let's leave him and now return to Ogier, the world champion, slower than Kubica yesterday. And Ogier's motto now is attack, but not at any cost. He's on the same tyres as Kubica, the super slick Michelin, so he's got no advantage there. So the way to outdo him is to use his better experience and listen carefully to co-driver Julian Ingrassia.
On the blacktop, it's crazy. It's like on ice, so for sure the car is very nervous on this section, and sometimes we have some big slide. But we are here.
It's more of a level playing field today with everybody on the same tyre choice. But is the novelty beginning to wear off for Robert Kubica? Let's put the clocks up and try and find out where he's suffering in comparison to Ogier. And he is suffering already. Ogier's time in green, Kubica in red. Ogier flew through here in 1/10 of a second over 29 minutes. And we are watching here Robert Kubica drop a place down to 4th. Right behind that little dogfight, Chris Meek, whose career in this sport was accelerated by the approval of the 1964 Monte Carlo winner, Paddy Hopkirk, who's also from Northern Ireland. It took Hopkirk days just to get here back then. Meek's time against Kubica and Ogier is going to be clocked in 10ths of seconds.
Early flat, 6 right.
Ogier was 8.5 seconds behind. But look at this. Meek has also been eclipsed by the mighty Sébastien Ogier.
Great job of finishing the slow. 5 right minus and 4 left.
Chris Meek drops from 2nd to 3rd place.
Chris, Ogier's on a mega push, but you've taken good time out of Kubica. That's not a bad thing.
4 seconds over 50 Ks is not a lot, to be honest. Incredibly slippery on the blacktop. It's like black ice. Okay, you can see it, but in the faster sections, it can catch you out. It only takes 1 square meter patch of shiny and it can put you off the road. So, yeah, the tires are working really well everywhere else, but on this blacktop, oh, yeah, it's tricky.
And Ogier's mega push will just be reaching this man, Brian Bouffier, rally leader, the last man to tackle this marathon stage. Seems strange to some here that this former French rally champion is only a test driver at Hyundai and entered here as a privateer. And his principal sponsor is one of France's biggest poultry suppliers. You can see where I'm going here. Because after everything that he's done this weekend, he's still got everybody in a flap. Oh, mind you, even he's having trouble with this slippy tarmac that Chris Meek was talking about. But Brian Bouffier's rally lead is down to 35.6 seconds.
Thanks, John. So the surprise overnight leader is still that. Bouffier, the man to catch, but Sébastien Ogier, the big man on the move today. Up from 4th to 2nd, he has Bouffier firmly in his sights. VW teammate Latvala also on the way up, overtaking Evans for 6th. We are up and running, but the fun and games have only just begun. Plenty of off-road antics coming up next. We'll explain what's happened here in just a moment. Rallye Monte Carlo, day 2, the first part of which unfolds in and around Rallye HQ in Gap, the capital of the Haute-Alpes region of France. Gap, incidentally, the birthplace of WRC world champion Sébastien Ogier, and was voted the most popular major sporting city in France last year. Rallye Monte Carlo moves this afternoon, the crew's heading 250 kilometres south to the Principality, arguably the most famous motorsport venue in the world. Okay, back to the day 2 action now with John.
So Sébastien Ogier is now up to 2nd place. And here, on stage 8, there's a sting right in the tail. You'll see why in 22.68 kilometres. And it is going to give this man, Norway's Mads Osberg, a real scare. 6th on the road this morning, a later start than yesterday, but since that early alarm, Mads has found it difficult breaking into the event's top 4. Everything is nice and well behaved until, that is, the flying finish and the stop board come into view. Flat out, crossing the line, and then this happens. Wow!